The guests were enjoying the party by chat, chatting, eating, and doing their other business. Jungkook didn't release his hold on Tae West every time he introduced his boyfriend to others. They smiled at everyone who congratulated them. Congratulations, Oppa. I didn't think you would ever had a boyfriend, said a woman who is thin and beautiful looking, elegant in her expression drags, which show most of her skin, and they can surely say that she didn't care about it. Thank you, Jenny, Jungkook said with a serious tone. Jenny was looking at Tae with pouring eyes, and it seems like she doesn't like Tae at all. She didn't speak anymore and left the place by bumping Tae's shoulders. Tae has no idea why she is behaving like this, and he looked at Jungkook, who was now busy talking with his friend. Tae got bored with their chat and he decided to meet his grandmother and hobby. He excused himself for Jungkook, who didn't even care, and walked from there. He stopped at his grandmother talking with Mrs. Jeon, and he walked towards them. Suddenly some children ran in their direction and pushed him playfully. But they lose his balance and thinks he is going to fall to the ground. He quickly put his hand around his stomach, but his body didn't touch the ground. He felt a strong hold on his waist. Someone catch him from falling. He looked at the man who was holding him tightly. A fine man looked more handsome in his suit like those Jungkook wear, had exposed forehead and a round earring on his one ear. He gave a small to Tae, helping him to stand properly. Thank you so much, he said politely. I don't think we have a thank you relationship. Tae, it was the deepest voice Tae had heard in his life. Jungkook is really lucky to have a beautiful boyfriend like you. I can see why he has fallen for you. I would have done the same. The man gave him a wink all of a sudden. They unknowingly bite his lip without knowing what to do. He doesn't have any idea who this person is. Really, he is one of Jungkook's relatives or friends, so he tried to be polite with him. I think I have to go. It's nice meeting you. Mr. Tae tried to leave, but the man stopped him. You don't want to know who I am? He asked with a smirk. I'm sorry, I don't be sorry, we are close now. This is the first time someone hasn't recognized me. It's okay, I will introduce myself for you, he said with a grin and came a little bit closer to Tae. My name is Flix, Jungkook's cousin, Tae. After the encounter with Jungkook's cousin, I walked to where Granny and Mrs. Jeon were talking. Hobby is nowhere to be found. I wonder where he is. Tenny, I am very happy for you. May God make my kids' life filled with happiness and peace afterwards. Granny said it as soon as he saw me. My granny is the sweetest person I have ever met. Maybe I fell into depression when my parents left me, but my grandmother was always with me and made sure to give me the best. She is the only reason for my excitement. I am so grateful to God that He didn't leave me alone. He brings happiness into my life. It from of my granny. Even after years, her love for me hasn't even decreased an inch. Didn't you eat anything? Mrs. Jeon asked with concern. No, I was going and to all. I think we great. It's been days that I haven't eaten with someone since I came to Jungkook's house. I have always eaten alone. Why are you starving? It's not good for you both. Come, let's eat together, dear, Mrs. Jeon said and dragged me and Granny along with her. I smile at her and follow her. Mrs. Jeon forced us to eat so many foods. I and Granny managed to eat most of it, but Mrs. John doesn't seem to be stopping serving food in order to give away. My granny claimed to be on a medical diet and left the area to wash her hands, but here I am there, stopped in Mrs. John's lap. I think I also have to find an excuse like Granny. Hey, how was his life with Jungkook? He is treating you well. Did he make time to spend with you? Mrs. Jeon asked suddenly. I don't know how to answer her question. I am tired of lying to her. She saw that I was hesitant to answer. I know that Brett always giving priority to his company. I am sorry about that. He was training like that. Training? Yes, it's all his father's fault. She sang for a minute before continuing. His father was a workaholic person. He wanted his son to take his position after he retires, so he started to train him for the CEO. Did she just say 8? How can an 18-year-old boy be trained to take over the company? It's only his school age. This is bad. I stood there speechless, right? I was also shocked, like you, when my husband said he was going to train my 8-year-old cookie. Jungkook was so adorable at that age. He looks like a baby bunny. Everyone draws his cute little bunny smile. He was my boy, but everything settled when my husband took that decision. He make my cookie study hard in all subjects, torture him every day. He changed his look and personality, everything to suit him to become a perfect future CEO. He doesn't give him time to play or make friends with other kids. He doesn't even allow him to spend time with me. He will lock him in the room. If he ever fail to test, he put all his time and effort into his company. My cookie grow little by little in that environment. Later, my husband was with cancer and he hid it from us for a long time. He always spent his time in company. Someday he doesn't return home. I was slowly losing my husband without knowing that was cheating with his ex. I only came to know about this when he appeared at his funeral with a baby. Jimin was only 7 when she left with me. She committed that in the heartbroken of my husband's death. From that day on, I grew Jimin into my own son. I didn't hide the truth from my both sons. When the time came, Jungkook became the CEO of Jeon Corporation, and now he had achieved success and is stepped up more like his father. But both of them failed to live from themselves. Thought out my life, I thought rich people didn't have to suffer. Only poor people have to suffer to live happily, but that has changed now. Mrs. Jan has led a painful life by witness his husband and son distancing from her. It must be really hard for her. Tears are already forming in her eyes, but she held it back. Didn't know how she endured all his pain. I wish one day someone would come into my son's life and teach him how to live a life like an ordinary person, someone who will be there for him till last. someone who he can learn on when things get hard instead of hiding it by drinking and making stand. I think God heard my prayer. That's why he sent you into my son's life. She looked at me, giving me a warm smile before continue. I know he is a hard one, but trust me, my cookie is not what other think. He has emotions. It's just that he doesn't want to show his weakness to others. He was trained to be the best, but we are all human. It's okay to be imperfect, to be weak, and to take a rest sometimes. I believe in you, Thay. You can make him a full human being. Thank you for giving me hope. Even if I die tomorrow, I can die in peace. Mrs. Jeon hold both my hand tightly. I feel guilty. What I'm gonna do? Will she forgive me if I say no? The truth, I am going to break her heart. One day she is going to hate me after she leaves. I hope I will have the strength to face it. Third person POV. They had been stripping the shoe from the past 10 minutes, thinking about yesterday party. He didn't got any sleep last night. He was now engaged to Jungkook, which he never thought would happen, and it was all faking for Mrs. Jeon and his granny. Mrs. Jeon's words are still running in his mind. It was something he couldn't ever forget in his life. Wow, this smells really good, Jimin said from behind Thay, which made Thay jump a little from the place he was standing. Oh my gosh, Jimin, you just gave me a mini heart attack, Thay said while putting his hand on his chest. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. What are you cooking? He asked curiously. Chicken soup. What? Don't tell me you are making this for him. This is your favorite one. No. I suddenly craving for some of this, so I decided to cook it. The air were red after he said that. Is that so? Why are you becoming a tomato? Jimin asked in a naughty tone, which was not unnoticed by Thay. They become more mess. Jimin, it's not what are you? Did you like my home? Jimin asked without any notice. What? They've fallen in love isn't a crime. If you like my home, I'll be surely supposed to you, Jimin said, giving him the sweetest smile ever. Jimin, you are misunderstood. I don't have any feeling for Jungkook and you both. He is never interested in relationship. But what if I say he is in relationship interested in you? I don't understand. What are you saying? Thay said in confusedly. Then listen to me clearly. My Hyung, Jungkook, who has never been in a relationship, has an interest in Tahang. They stood there speechless. He is processing what he just heard from Jimin. I think it's a flashback time, Jimin said. Flashback towards morning 6 a.m. the day after their night together. The demon born Jimin. Jungkook was trying to call Jimin for a 11th time that day, but his brother seems to be in a peaceful sleep. Jungkook was walking past his room holding his phone. Finally, Jimin answered the phone. What? Why do you take this much time to answer the call, Jimin? It's already 6 a.m. I want to sleep. Why are you making me crazy? We didn't have anything important today. Where is the guy who sent yesterday for me? Isn't he with you? I didn't even give him his pay. He was not here when I woke up. Do you have his number? Jungkook's last word made him sit on the bed instantly. Did you just ask me the number of a guy? Jimin can't believe what he just heard. Yes, and I want him now. Connect him and inform me of his details this instant. I'm I am right. He is not like the other guy. He is quickly gained and place. Is young heart with a knight? Jimin said as thought he were speaking at himself. Cut the crap and do what I say. I'm sorry, Hung, but they didn't share their employees' personal details with anyone. What? Yes, but if you are interested that much, I will ask someone to search for his detail and even set a date for you. Even thought they are speaking on the phone. Jungkook can imagine in mischief smile. I am not interested in it anymore. I just want another night with him. Don't you dare set me any dates scare. You can sleep now. Jungkook cut the phone immediately and left his room in red. I wonder if he meet that guy again. He will surely hold him tightly and don't let him go, Jung Min said and laughed himself in a flashback. That whole day he was so mad he almost fired an employer for looking at him for a few seconds. I haven't never seen him like that. All this information is so overwhelming for Tae that he didn't even blink for the past 5 minutes. Jimin came near him, which divided Tae from his thoughts. I will be really happy if you both end up together, Jimin said genuinely. Jimin, we are all acting from your mother. I don't think falling for Jungkook is a good idea because in the end we are going to be apart. If that's the issue, then don't worry, Emma is not going anywhere soon. How can that possible? You said. What are you doing here, Jimin? Tae and Jungkook looked towards and tried Jungkook, who had just come from work, his tie hanging loose and his coat on the hand. Right time, Hyung. I came to tell you both that Emma is not going abroad next month. She is going to extend her leave. No, Jimin and Taehyung were suddenly joined by a furious Jungkook roar. The change. Jungkook was getting ready for work when he heard a scream. He was scared and rushed towards the place where the scream came from. It was from Therum. Jungkook stand in front of Therum. Why should I bother to go and look? I have many things to deal with already. He decided to go back, but suddenly Jungkook screamed with his lungs out, and Jungkook didn't any waste time. He opened the door and ran inside. There is nowhere in the room. He can hear sob sobbing from the bathroom. Yeah, why are you screaming inside the bathroom? Jungkook shouted. Suddenly, T-Sob stopped and he heard some slip sound. Jungkook, there is. He couldn't talk properly out of fear. There is what? Jungkook asked impatiently. There is a cockroach. Yeah, speak clearly if you don't want me to leave you here. Jungkook about to burst at any time. There is a cockroach, they shouted from the bathroom. Quickly, what? Haven't you seen a cockroach before? Just smack it. I can't believe it. I waste my time on a cockroach. Jungkook turned and instead walked towards the door. Don't go, I am afraid to instant. They cried. Jungkook released a heavy sigh before walking back to the bathroom door. What do you want me to do? Jungkook asked in annoyance. Could you please come and make these things go away? Please, the door is not locked. Why? Why are you taking a bath without locking it? Jungkook asked in disbelief. I forgot, he said, which made Jungkook roll his eyes and hold the door, but before he opened, are you dressed? Jungkook asked, which made he place himself looking at his robe. He tightened it before answering. Yes, I noticed the cockroach after finishing my bath. He was red now. He heard a moving sound, and there is Jungkook standing there in his black and white fit outfit, looking dashing and always. Jungkook looked at Tae, who was sitting inside the up, holding his rope tightly with his puppy eyes looking at Jungkook with relief. He quickly averted his gaze when he noticed the rope was falling from the left shoulder, exposing his milky white skin. He then took a shampoo bottle and turned towards the cockroach. He was just about to smash it at the bottle whenever he suddenly spoke. Don't kill him. What? When? What do you want me to do? To fight with it? Jungkook asked. Just make it go away from here, he said it with his puppy eyes. Jungkook gave him one last deadly glare, took the cockroach in his bare hand and walked outside. They slowly jumped from the tape and followed Jungkook. Jungkook go downstairs and put that in the kitchen bin. Thank you, they said from behind Jungkook. Jungkook didn't notice they following him. He turned back to scold him for wasting his time, but he was outstruck by seeing a freshly showered there. With an exposed shoulder in his pink robe, which was only key length. I thought I would pass out if nobody came to. They stopped in the middle and his eyes widened when he realized he was wearing. He quickly held his robe and within no time he ran towards his room. Cute. Before Jungkook could realize what he just said, he remembered that he was late and instantly rushed towards his own room. Time escaped. Even though Jungkook said that he doesn't eat the food they cook, he always leaves some food from Jungkook because he always loved to share food and watch others enjoying his food. And if Jungkook doesn't touch it, he reached it the next day and eaten it by himself. But one day when Jungkook came home a little earlier, he left a familiar smell, the smell of his favorite food. He looked at the table and looked around, then slowly walked towards it. By the smell itself, he can say that it's going to be delicious and he can't rest devoting it. And yes, he ate it and finished it within a minute. What he didn't see with a happily was it secretly. Whenever Jungkook goes to work, little Litty will join him at the dining table. Jungkook left after they came was not the same as before. They and his presence somehow gave him a different feeling, and he didn't deny it. He will sat there walking around the garden, chatting with the servant, and sometimes talking with the plant and tree, which assumed and confused at him at the same time. The feelings of someone other than him in his house is new for him. On the other hand, he continued to cook Jungkook's favorite list of food after he see him eating one he made, cooking for others his favorite things. He began to have company with the servant, even thought by hesitate to talk. He also made them eat the food he prepared and got a lot of compliment. He visited his grandmother and hobby once his parents' memorial, but his granny said not to travel alone during this time, so most of the time he roams around the house and observes the garden, the hanging vase, and the picture which were sending by a called JK. He is the third month now. His granny told him to go to the checkup with Jungkook, but they know Jungkook didn't care about these things and he had to go alone. He was welcomed by Jungkook, who was in usual dress, different from his outfit suit, looking more handsome. Which, when he came out of his room to go for his checkup, Jungkook stared at him from head to toe. He was looking all goofy in his white hoodie and black jeans. Therefore, Jungkook stared and walked towards the door in awkwardness. Where are you going? Jungkook would stop at him from walking. He immediately turned back to face Jungkook, who was still checking on him, which made his cheeks burn. I'm going to the hospital. It's my checkup day. Get in the car. I coming with you, Jungkook said, walking past Ashton. Tae, are not you coming? That was enough for Tae to come running behind Jungkook, who got in his seat and started the car. Tae quickly hopped in the front seat. He didn't know why his heart was beating very fast every time Jungkook was near him. He silently stayed there, but the car isn't moving. He slowly turned to Jungkook, who was giving him death glare. Now what? Why he is staring at me all the time? What did he want? Put the seat belt on. They quickly stretched the belt from his side before Jungkook could shoot to him again. But for his unlucky fortune, the belt is stuck. He pulled a lot of time but has no chance. He looked at Jungkook, showing his soft eyes. Jungkook rolled his eyes in annoyance before leaning towards them, pulling the belt and plugging it. Jungkook didn't move. They were now so close. Every time he head into those pleased eyes, he felt like lost in it. He thought his heart would jumping outside at any time because it was beating twice as fast. They were looking into each other's eyes, and then suddenly they felt like snatching. His eyes widened, and he pushed Jungkook to the side before the snatch, which made Jungkook hit the car door. Ah! They slowly lifted his head after snatching quickly, and he looked at Jungkook hesitantly. I'm sorry. Jungkook didn't say anything to give one last annoying look to before starting the car.